Why was the US not able to entirely eliminate the Taliban in 2 decades? Well, when the US invaded Afghanistan in 2001, within a few months, they were able to wipe out the Taliban's presence in most of Afghanistan, right? So they were able to do it. And for years, for almost 2 decades, they kept on conducting these military operations against the Taliban in Afghanistan. They conducted drone strikes many times. They conducted drone strikes even within Pakistan. But we have to understand that the source, the origin of the Taliban is Pakistan. And the Americans did not go after the real source, the real origin of the Taliban, which is the ISI, which is the Pakistani military. The Americans knew what was happening. They knew that the ISI is sheltering the Taliban on Pakistani soil. They knew the Pakistani army is involved. It was well known, it was well accepted by the Americans. They knew what they were doing. They did not want the Taliban to be destroyed. They knew that the Taliban and the ISI and the Pakistani army are causing the deaths of thousands of US soldiers. I think 3 or 4 thousand US soldiers, maybe 3,000 or so, roughly, have died in the past 20 years in Afghanistan. It is all at the hands of the Taliban or the ISI or the Pakistan army in various guises. The Americans knew it and they were clearly fine with it. So the Americans chose not to destroy the Taliban. The Taliban, they were targeting the Taliban in Afghanistan, but they were not crossing the border and destroying the source of the Taliban, which is the Pakistani establishment, the Pakistani military. So it is a long-term geopolitical game. The Americans have always needed a few bad guys in the world. They've always needed these bad guys. If there are no bad guys in the world, then how can the Americans play the role of the super cop? So that's why they have nurtured bad guys from time to time over the decades. And the Taliban is one of these bad guys. The ISI is one of these bad guys. So the past 20 years, the Americans knew full well that the Taliban is alive and well. It is prospering across the border to the south in Pakistan, and they allowed it to happen. So that is why the Taliban have survived, and now they are back, and now they have taken over Afghanistan.